Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. The weekend is finally here. Well, it's almost here. A couple more hours. Man, I hope you're staying warm. A lot of us, like down here in Texas and off to the east and north, seems like everybody's under some major winter storm or cold snap. Hope you're staying warm where you are. We'll see how that affects the Cotton Bowl tonight up there in Dallas because they had a lot of snow up there. I don't think it's snowing up there now, so I'm sure they got roads cleared and all that. Hey, we're going to review this week, Monday through last night. Had two great football games, FCS championship game and then the Orange Bowl last night. We'll go over that. Before we start, had some upsets in basketball too, some good ones. Before we start, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. With it, let's get to it. Some news here. Clemson, they have fired their defensive coordinator, Wes Goodwin. 3 years of bad run defense probably did it. They averaged giving up 160 rushing yards a game. Clemson had enough of that. They got rid of him. Georgia's Jalen Walker, inside linebacker, and Mikael Williams, defensive end. They have declared for the NFL draft. Hey, North Central, which I'm not sure where that college is, they beat Division III powerhouse Mount Union 41-25 to win the national championship, which is it would be like several years ago some smaller team beating Alabama in the national championship game, or something like that. Or remember when North Dakota State? Remember, we'll mention them in a minute. Remember when they used to win all those national championships? Some smaller school beating them. That's kind of the equivalent of it. Luke, how you say his name? Lecken. 5 touchdowns, 2 of them to Jacob Pardee, 2 other passing touchdowns, and he also ran for a touchdown, the quarterback for North Central. So congratulations to them. They are the Division III football national championship. Former Florida State and Alabama wide receiver Malik Benson, he commits to Oregon. Speaking of Oregon, they lose defensive tackle Derek Harmon and wide receiver Tez Johnson. They have both declared for the NFL draft. And hey, Grayson McCall, remember him? Badass quarterback for Coastal Carolina. He's coming back to Coastal Carolina to be an offensive analyst. So see how that works out for him there. Always good to go back home, I guess. All right, so let's get down to it. Monday, man, that FCS championship game didn't start out very good. I mean, North Dakota State just handled, dominated Montana State in that first half of that game. Came back. It was actually 21-3 at halftime. But, man, Montana State woke up in the second half, made it a hell of a game. Coming within 3 points of North Dakota State twice. Just never could score again to get ahead of North Dakota State. Bison would score. Bobcats would score again and get back into 3 points, but just couldn't score enough to get past them. They did outscore North Dakota State 29-14 in the second half. It ended up losing by 3, ironically. Bison quarterback Cam Miller, 199 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He also ran for 121 and 2 touchdowns, including a 64-yarder right up the middle. Pretty incredible run. Bryce Lane, 107 receiving yards and a touchdown. Montana State quarterback Tommy Mallett, 195 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Also ran for 135 and a touchdown. 2 great quarterbacks in this game. Post-game categories, when you look at everything, they're pretty close to each other in numbers. No turnovers in this game. There was a couple turnovers, but the team that turned it over did fall back on it. So I guess you could say fumbles or whatever. But no turnovers and went to the other team. North Dakota State, their 10th national championship. They finished the season 14-2. Montana State, that was their lone loss, 15-1. And if I remember right, Oregon, next year, the first game is against Montana State in August, September, wherever it is. Basketball on Monday night, 12-3 Wisconsin beat Rutgers, 75-63. 9-6 South Florida beat 10-5 Wichita State, 91-72. South Florida, 12 3-pointers, 18 points off of turnovers in that game. Norfolk State, they moved to 11-7. They beat Delaware State by 9. 7-8 Southeast Louisiana. beat 10-5 UT Rio Grande by 4. Buckley for Southeast Louisiana, 25 points in that game. Texas A&M Corpus Christi moved to 10-6. They beat New Orleans by 14. McNeese, they moved to 10-5. They beat Northwestern State, 92-69. Ohio State moved to 10-5. They beat 8-7 Minnesota by 1 in 2 overtimes. Number 12, Houston. They moved to 11-3, beat 8-6 TCU, 65-46. Houston had 16 points off of turnovers in that game. Moving on to Tuesday, St. John's moved to 13-3, beat 9-7 Xavier by 10. Miami of Ohio moved to 10-4, beat Ball State 80-72. Miami of Ohio's Cam Kraft, 28 points in that game. Kent State moved to 10-4, beat Northern Illinois 68-50. Kent State's Van Cameron Davis, I think that's what it says. 31 points, 10 rebounds. Hell of a game for him. Number 13 to Duke. Number 4, 13-2 Duke. I'll get it out. I'm excited because it's Friday. Beat 12-3 Pitt, 76-47. Duke, 50% from the field. They hit 11 3-pointers. They were 13 for 18 from the free throw line. 15 more rebounds. Scored 20 points off of turnovers. Pitt, 31% from the field. That's not going to beat Duke. They did have more steals and blocks in this game, but anyway, flag for Duke, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Cochran for Pitt, 11 points, 7 rebounds. He was the only Pitt player with double-digit points. Hence, 31% from the field. Louisville, they moved to 11-5, beat 12-4 Clemson by 10. Hadley for Louisville, 32 points, 10 rebounds. Hunter was Clemson's lead scorer with 15 points in that one. Louisville, 46% from the field. Clemson shot 40%. 9-5 Arizona, man, beat number 21, 11-3 West Virginia, 75-56. Arizona, 51% from the field. West Virginia, only 36%. Lewis for Arizona, 21 points. Came off the bench to do that. Arizona, that is their 5th straight win. This game here, boy. Number 8, Florida. They moved to 14-1, handing number 1 Tennessee their first loss of the season. Didn't just beat them down, man. Beat them by 30. I did not see that happening. I knew Florida was good. I say Tennessee's going to lose this game. It's going to be close because Tennessee's really good. Lost by 30. God. Martin for Florida, 18 points, 6 rebounds. Aberdeen came off the bench, 16 points. Camden, 12 points, 12 rebounds. Florida shot 40% from the field. They had 17 more rebounds than Tennessee and 12 points off of turnovers. Lanier and Ziegler for the Vols both had 10 points. They were the leading scorers. 21% from the field is what the Volunteers shot against Florida. Ooh, man, it seems like some of these losses, shooting is usually bad, but they're way bad this week. Number 6, 12-3 Kentucky lost to 13-2 Georgia, 82-69. Could this be a different Georgia team this year? We've talked about it. They dominate, they kick ass and all that in the November, December. And when it comes to conference play in January, man, they start taking a nosedive. They just beat number 6 Kentucky. Keep an eye on Georgia. Let's see if they're going to be different this year than they usually are. 11-4 Iowa beat 12-3 Nebraska by 10 in overtime. Dix for Iowa, 31 points. He hit 7 3-pointers. Sanford behind him, 30 points in that one. Baylor beat Cincinnati by 20. Both of them are 10-4. Baylor, that was their 10th straight home victory. Number 3, 13-1 Iowa State beat 8-6 Utah, 82-59. Curtis Jones for Iowa State, 23 points, 5 rebounds. He came off the bench to do that. Number 7, 14-2 Marquette beat 12-3 Georgetown, 74-66. Marquette was actually down by 14 points in the first half of that game. Illinois Chicago's 10-5. They beat Missouri State 80-63. Number 2 Auburn, they are 14-1. Beat 11-4 Texas by 1. Auburn's Brome, 20 points, 12 rebounds. Kelly had 18 points. 10-6 North Carolina beat 11-4 SMU 82-67. UNC 11 3-pointers in this game, 18 points off of turnovers. Missouri, they are 12-3. They beat 11-4 LSU 83-67. Missouri hit 12 3-pointers, 20 points off of turnovers. They were 21 for 27 when shooting free throws. Number 14-1 Mississippi State beat 13-2 Vanderbilt, 76-64. Mississippi State, 8th straight win. 11-3 Texas Tech beat 10-4 BYU, 72-67. Texas Tech's Hawkins, 22 points, 4 rebounds, hit 6 3-pointers. And if I remember right, that was BYU's second loss in a row. If I could be wrong, but I think it was. Number 24, 12-3 Michigan beat number 22, 11-4 UCLA, 94-75. Golden for Michigan, 36 points. Woo! And then he got 7 rebounds on top of that. Donaldson behind him, 20 points. Number 25, Utah State is 15-1. They beat San Jose State 85-78. Utah State, that is their 5th straight win. New Mexico 13-3. They beat Wyoming 61-53. Both teams shot under 34% in this game. Boise State, they are 12-4. Beat UNLV 81-59. Boise State got 20 points off of turnovers. St. Mary's is 14-3. They beat Loyola Marymount 81-56. St. Mary's 25 for 28 from the free throw line. Moving on to Wednesday. Youngstown State 11-6. They beat Northern Kentucky by 11. Loyola Chicago, they moved to 10-5. They beat LaSalle by 11. Villanova, they're 11-5. They beat number 9, 12-4 UConn by 2. UConn's Alex Carbon missed, how many did he miss? 2 free throws. Missed 2 free throws with 3 seconds left in the game. That's got to be killing him. Indiana 13-3. They beat USC 82-69. Game was tied at 38 at halftime. Furman is 14-2. They beat Citadel by 4. Drake is 13-2. Beat 13-3 Bradley 64-57. Cleveland State 11-6. They beat Robert Morris 80-69. Purdue Fort Wayne, they are 12-6. Beat 11-6 Milwaukee by 5. Florida State, they're 11-4, beat Miami by 15. Miami's just horrible this year. Remember the coach got fed up with NIL stuff, left a couple weeks ago. That's probably just not not helping them. George Mason 11-5, they beat Richmond 64-58. George Washington, they are 13-3, beat 12-3 Rhode Island 75-67. Grand Canyon, 18 points off a turnover, or George Washington, 18 points off turnovers. VCU, they're 12-4, beat Fordham 73-61. That was a 1-point game at halftime. 6-10 UMass, man, they beat 11-5 Dayton by 4. UMass 45% from the field, Dayton only 38% from the field. Number 5 Alabama, they moved to 13-2. They beat 10-5 South Carolina by 20. Alabama, 19 points off of turnovers. Number 23, Ole Miss. They moved to 13-2. They beat 11-4 Arkansas, 73-66. That is the Rebels' first win in Fayetteville since 2015. Good for them. Central Florida, they're 11-3. Beat Colorado by 1. Central Florida only shot 39% from the field, but they did have 24 points off of turnovers in that game. High Point, they are 14-4. They beat Charleston Southern 93-79. Longwood, 13-5. They beat UNC Asheville, 85-76. Belmont is 11-5. They beat Southern Illinois by 4. 10-6 St. Louis beat 14-2 St. Bonaventure, 73-68. St. Louis's Gibson Jimerson, 28 points. Number 13 Illinois, 12-3. They beat 12-4 Penn State, 91-52. Illinois hit 10 3-pointers and had 25 more rebounds in that one. St. Thomas, Minnesota is 13-5. They beat South Dakota State by 1. Number 18, Gonzaga. They moved to 13-4. Beat San Diego by 13. Number 11, Kansas. They moved to 11-3. They beat 10-4 Arizona State, 74-55. Arizona State only scored 13 points in the second half. Kansas just shut them down. Number 10, Texas A&M. They are 13-2. They beat number 17. 13-2. Oklahoma, 80-78. A&M was actually down by 18 in the second half, and they came roaring back. 11-4 North Texas beat 11-5 Rice, 81-59. San Diego State, they are 10-3, beat Arizona, 67-38. Air Force, only 14 points in the second half. There's quite a few basketball games last night. I'm just going to do the top 25 because I was watching the Orange Bowl. Number 15, Oregon. They moved to 14-2, beat 10-6 Ohio State by 10. Shadstead for Oregon, 24 points. Biddle had 21 points, 8 rebounds. Number 20, Purdue, they moved to 12-4, beat Rutgers by 18. And number 16, Michigan State, they are 13-2, beat 10-6 Washington, 88-54. Michigan State's Jaden Atkins, 20 points in that game. So the semifinal last night, Orange Bowl, the way it started off, Penn State just dominated them. Both sides of the ball, offense, defense, in the trenches. Nothing seemed to be going Notre Dame's way. Then Leonard got hurt, concussion. They sent him out. Then the backup came in. Was it Angie? Anyway, he took him down the field, and they scored a field goal. And I was thinking, you know what? The way seeing Leonard played this first half, I might start. I may start that backup. But luckily, Riley Leonard okayed the play, came back in the game. Totally different team the second half. It kind of reminded me of the FCS championship game a few days before. North Dakota State dominated the first half. Second State, Montana State came roaring back. Didn't win like Notre Dame did. But yeah, second half, totally different Notre Dame team. They came storming back. Made some good halftime adjustments. They were a hell of a lot better on third down than Penn State. They were 11 for 17 on third down. Penn State only 3 for 11. Penn State did outrush them. They had a great rushing game last night. Their player, what was that player's name? I think he got 3 touchdowns. Singleton, was that his name? Got in the end zone 3 times. But Notre Dame's passing game was a hell of a lot better than Penn State's. Aller, those that interception. Okay, go back for a minute. All right. So Penn State, they ended up, if I remember right, they ended up punting. And there was, a couple of minutes left. Notre Dame go downfield, kick the field goal, or get a touchdown and win this game. The play calling in that second to last series, whatever. I was just questioning it. I was like, man, you got to get downfield, and you're running up the middle for 1 or 2 yards. I didn't understand it, and then they had to punt. I was like, well, Penn State's probably going to win now. Aller, those that interception with 30 seconds left, pretty much handed the game to them. They just ran a few plays Notre Dame, and then they kicked the field goal and won that game. Really, really a damn good game. It's probably the game we've been waiting for in this whole playoff thing. I mean, we've had a couple other decent ones. So that mean that Notre Dame, they move on. Penn State gets their loss. And a lot of people are saying, see, it was a big game, so Franklin couldn't win. Well, he won another playoff game. I mean, lost to Ohio State, not by much. I think he's turned things around there. Penn State, almost made it to a national championship game, so people need to get off his case. But, Notre Dame goes on, national championship game. Interesting game tonight. We've all seen Ohio State play. We've all seen Texas play. It's just a matter of I think it's going to be a matter of who outplays who the most. People are saying, oh, it's cold as shit. It's snowing in Dallas. It's inside. The game is inside. Quit all that crap. The only time this player is going to be cold is going from the bus into the stadium. But I think it's going to be a damn good game. I can't wait to see what happens. 2 great quarterbacks. I would probably give Howard a little bit more of an edge than I would Ewers. But you never know. They might throw Manning in there. Tonight, Cotton Bowl, CFP semifinal, Ohio State, Texas. A lot of great basketball tomorrow. Some games on Sunday. We'll be back either Sunday or Monday to go over everything that happened tonight and tomorrow. Meantime, hey, weekend is finally here. Boy, that week after you come back after the holidays, whoo, man, that's a tough week, isn't it? Or after any vacation. Anyway, keep your head down, work hard. 5 o'clock will be here before you know it. Be safe this weekend. Enjoy whatever you're going to do. We'll see you next Sunday or Monday.